This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist CJ Cartledge.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown. I'm meteorologist CJ Cartledge here, back on the podcast for today, and I hope you guys have had a great week so far. Happy Hump Day, everyone, to everybody that's listening out there. I know the temperatures are turning up once again, and we're getting a little bit less amount of rain chances here for the Arklatex, so we're going to be breaking that down here on the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown for today. But we're also going to be talking about something a little bit different here. We're going to be talking about the storms that are brewing in the Gulf of Mexico as of right now here. And the actually in the Gulf of Mexico, it has just moved across the Florida Peninsula, and it's slowly but surely starting to strengthen a little bit. And here on this podcast, we're going to be talking about if this storm may strengthen into a tropical depression or to a tropical storm, let alone a hurricane. It has a possibility to strengthen into that certain criteria. So we're going to be breaking that down here on the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown for today. But first order of business, we're going to be moving on into our local forecast. So here's what's going on around the Arklatex right now, or at least around the Shreveport and Bossier area through our KSA Tower camera, sponsored by Mattress Plus. And we are looking at some puffy clouds here just overhead, and a little bit of some haziness in the background, possibly due to the Saharan dust moving over from Africa through the Atlantic Ocean and finally hitting us here in the Arklatex, or hitting the Gulf Coast states at least. And we're going to be seeing a mostly dry day across the Arklatex once again here for the Arklatex region. And as you can see, or as you may have seen, the temperatures have risen well into those 90s once again. And we will continue to watch those temperatures rise high in the 90s as we move through the next couple of days as well. But just a quick announcement here on the 1 year anniversary. I know yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown show. I wanted to be here so bad to talk to you guys about the 1 year anniversary and just review everything that we've done here on the podcast through the past year. But I've had some traveling issues with the airport, so that's why I haven't been on air, or you haven't been seeing me on the podcast through Monday and Tuesday. But I am back here and in full action. Happy birthday to the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown, which was yesterday, or happy belated birthday, as I should say here. But yes, we're going to be bringing you much more content through the next year and multiple years ahead here on the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown. Thank you guys so much for tuning in throughout this year. You guys have made this so eventful and so fun to be on, and with your interactions and everything and that of that nature. And we're so excited to bring you more content throughout the next year or so here on the podcast, here on the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown. But here is the First Alert Doppler radar as of right now. We're going to jump into the local forecast right now, or let's see what's going on around the Arklatex currently. We're seeing a little bit of some cloud cover moving in from the south and west as well as the south here. And this will be the fuel that will allow temperatures to rise well into the 90s once again across the region for this afternoon. Here's a look at temperatures right now. They're on their way towards the 90s and into the upper 90s for some of us here for today. 88 for Shreveport, 86 near Mansfield and Florine, 88 over by Bienville, 89 for Natchitoches, and 89 also for Texarkana. But some areas are a little bit more humid than others. If you would look at these feels like temperatures, we have already hit the triple digits near Natchitoches as of right now. This is 10:33 in the morning. And once these temperatures hit above 90 degrees, we should see most areas reach above that triple digit mark or get above 105 by this afternoon here. Here's Shreveport sitting at 98 in terms of feels like temperatures. It feels like 104 near Bienville. It feels like 100 for Natchitoches, as mentioned before. Almost 100 near Texarkana. 98 for Magnolia. 96 near DeQueen. 93 by Mount Pleasant. 91 for Longview. And it only feels like the mid-80s near Center as of right now, possibly due to cloud cover, and they just may not have seen the heat of the day so far just yet. But as you can see right here with this graphic, there is a heat advisory in effect from now until 7 p.m. It actually just went into effect not too long ago at 10 a.m. should last until around the sunset hours for today, and that includes most of our counties and parishes within the Arklatex, except for some portions north of I-30 or north of I-20 in northeastern Texas, as well as McCurtain County is not under the heat advisory for today, but you can definitely expect high heat and humidity to affect those areas as well, just because they're not under the heat advisory for today. Make sure to continue to take the necessary precautions to stay away from the heat and humidity that the day will bring. That is drinking plenty of water. Try to limit your time outdoors. Try to wear light colored clothing if you have to be outdoors for prolonged periods of time. Try to take breaks from being outside for prolonged periods of time, maybe 10 to 15-minute breaks. Make sure to drink a lot of water as well, as mentioned before, and wear sunscreen. That would definitely help out there if you are going to be outside for a long period of time. It will definitely help as well if you drink water and try to pour water over your head. If you just pour water over your head, that can also cool you off quite a bit here. Just make sure your body isn't too hot for you doing that. You could experience thermal shock, which won't be good for your body with the clashing of very hot temperatures on your body and cold temperatures of the water that you may pour over your head. But here's a look at the next 5 hours ahead. As you can see, by 11 to 12 p.m., we should, around the lunch hour, we should see temperatures eclipse that 90-degree mark or get higher than that, and southerly flow is expected to continue through the daytime hours. That will allow temperatures to reach the low to mid 90s across the region, or mid and upper 90s, as I should say. Lower 90s up there near Idabel and DeQueen, mid and upper 90s for the rest of the Arklatex south of the I-30 corridor. 89 or 98 for Texarkana, 98 for Shreveport as well. 95 near Minden and Homer, 96 for Ruston, Winfield, Natchitoches, and Coshada over in our Louisiana portions of the region. 95 for Longview and Marshall, same for Mount Pleasant, and we could hit around the mid-90s for Nacogdoches and St. Augustine. 98 looks to be the high near Shreveport for today, potentially even higher than that as we move into tomorrow. We could see highs eclipse that 100-degree mark near Texarkana and Hope, potentially even Shreveport as well. With the latest updates that we may have by this afternoon, we could hit the 100-degree mark or have a forecasted high of 100 degrees or higher. 98 for Longview looks to be in the mid and upper 90s across the region again here for our Arklatex region by tomorrow afternoon. Now let's take a quick look at the feels like forecast for today. I'm going to find that really quickly here. This is the feels like temperatures for today. They're going to be staying, or they're forecasted to stay just below that heat advisory criteria, but they could very well get above the heat advisory criteria for today, which is why we're under a heat advisory, which means that forecast, it feels like temperatures could reach up 105 or above here. Here's a look at future track. We should see not too much really go on through the daytime hours. You may see an isolated shower or two just outside of the region, but the Arklatex should remain mostly dry throughout the daytime hours for today. Now, moving into Thursday, we're expecting a very similar pattern across the Arklatex. Not too much really going on here. And as you can see, southerly flow may bring in a little bit of cloud cover, but mostly sunny conditions are expected heading into Thursday afternoon. Maybe an isolated shower or two down to the southern and eastern corner of the Arklatex region, our Louisiana parishes, maybe even Hemphill and Sabine and St. Augustine counties in southern eastern Texas. But that would be pretty much it in terms of the potential for rain chances. Heading into Friday and Saturday, though, we could see higher rain chances across the Arklatex here, and that could impact the Red River Balloon Rally and the events going on over there by the Louisiana Downs as we move into our weekend as well. We're expecting a high of 92 degrees and even lower than that as we head to our Saturday due to the chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms across the region. It's a pretty high rain chance. So make sure to keep the rain gear handy if you're going out to the Red River Balloon Rally for this weekend, especially for Friday and Saturday. It begins at 5 p.m. at the Louisiana Downs. So make sure to continue. Once again, bring the rain gear out just in case the isolated rain showers or scattered rain showers hit the Louisiana Downs area or the Shreveport and Bossier area. At that, around the region, we're expecting scattered showers and thunderstorms as well, so make sure to be wary of that. That is mainly because of the tropical system that is developing out in the Gulf of Mexico right now, which we will dive into more detail on coming up right after the break here. So let's take a quick look at the forecast highs. We're going to talk about the general forecast for the area before we dive into more detail in just a little bit. Forecast highs, we're expected to reach the mid and upper 90s once again heading into our Thursday and Friday. We're expecting a drop in those temperatures heading into the weekend here, mainly because of the tropical system that I'll be discussing later on in this forecast here or in this podcast. 92 looks to be the high, lower 90s and upper 80s. It looks to be a noticeable drop in temperatures down into the 80s, mid and upper 80s heading into our Saturday. Some areas may hit the lower 90s for those that will be a little bit drier as compared to others. Heading into our Sunday and Monday, temperatures return back to their normal pattern, which is above the average for this time of year. And we'll deal with the heat and humidity once again across the Arklatex. In terms of the rain chances for the next 5 days ahead, we will see very slim rain chances heading into our Thursday, mainly slight rain chances for those cornered down into our northwestern Louisiana portions of the Arklatex. But that will be pretty much it for the area for Thursday. Heading into Friday and Saturday, we'll have a higher rain chance across most of the Arklatex region. Most areas to the north of I-30 or some areas north of I-30 may not receive a rain shower or two, but we'll dive into that forecast a little bit more. Heading into Saturday, same thing. And as we move into Sunday and Monday, rain chances return back to their normal pattern, which is slight, around 0 to 20%. As we head into the start of the new work week, our muggy meter shows that we can expect a slight rise in that humidity going into the weekend, mainly because of the Gulf moisture moving into the Arklatex and pretty much staying there through the rest of the forecast period into Monday and Tuesday, which my screen is blocking right now. But heading into our Wednesday and Thursday, we should see sticky feeling humidity that's allowing for temperatures to rise above that 105-degree mark, and that will show in the temperatures and feels like temperatures, which may get above 105 and we may go under another heat advisory going into tomorrow in our forecast here. Here's a look at the heat risk potential for today. We're not seeing many reds here denoting the major heat and humidity, so that's good. But we are seeing some of the oranges, which means that sensitive groups may have a hard time staying outdoors for prolonged periods of time. And for the yellow color, that denotes a very small amount of people or small group of people, mainly the only sensitive groups, and more amount of people will have a hard time staying outdoors. For the orange color, which denotes the moderate heat and humidity. Going into our Thursday, that heat risk increases for the eastern half of the Arklatex, and so is that moderate heat risk for the orange color, denoting most of the eastern half of the region under the moderate heat and humidity. The heat and humidity decreases heading into our Friday as well as heading into Saturday, mainly because of higher rain chances across the region. But that heat and humidity looks to return back into the Arklatex heading into Sunday and Monday and even our Tuesday as well, as we may see more red colors just outside of the region, but they could move into the Arklatex, denoting the major heat and humidity as we move into our next Tuesday from in the eastern half of the Arklatex region. But it looks to be pretty much scattered across the area as well. Some localized areas could get major heat and humidity. That just goes to show you that the heat and humidity is not done just yet. We're actually going in towards the middle of the season. We're still in the beginning of the summer season right now. But especially going into the end of July and the beginning of August, it will be the pretty much dog days of summer, denoting that we won't see much rain and we will see higher temperatures, mainly above average temperatures for that time frame. Next 8 to 14 days shows that half of the Arklatex could see drier than average conditions, and will be the south and eastern half may be seeing near normal conditions out there across the Arklatex, and that possibly will be due to that Gulf storm, that storm that's in the Gulf right now, moving northward or looking to move northward into the Gulf Coast states within the next couple of days or so. Here's our 7-day forecast. We're expecting the mid and upper 90s for our Wednesday and Thursday, which is today and tomorrow. By Friday and Saturday, we could see a higher chance for rain due to the Gulf system, which we'll be breaking down into more detail coming up after the break, and that will cause temperatures to drop into the lower 90s and upper 80s for our Friday and Saturday. Heading into Sunday and Monday, as well as Tuesday, temperatures raise back towards the above average range, but temperatures for the lows will stay in the 70s here. So we'll be returning back to that similar pattern that we are in now after the Gulf moisture, or the storm in the Gulf finally moves onshore into the Gulf Coast states. And coming up after the break that we will take in just a minute or so, we will be talking about the chances for tropical development out in the Gulf of Mexico, which I have teased to throughout this forecast. And we will be talking about the Gulf chances for, or Atlantic Basin, I should say, chances for any other types of tropical development out there around the country here. So make sure to stay tuned after this quick break here. We're going to be taking 2 minutes for a commercial break, so make sure to stay tuned for that. I'll be back in just around 2 minutes for the forecast on the Gulf Coast storm. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Here is the look at the tropical development, or the chance of tropical development, through the next 7 days. And it only looks to be this one area of potential development that has just moved over the peninsula of Florida and is now in the Gulf of Mexico. Is actually brushing along the shore of Florida, the Gulf Coast part of Florida there, and is looking to make its way back into Gulf Coast waters, which are extremely warm as of right now, above the average for this time of year. And it's looking like it's going to make its landfall into either Mississippi or Louisiana within the next couple of days here. So I'm going to give you guys another picture of the storm as it stands as of right now in the Gulf right now. As you can see, there's a large area of moisture just off the coastlines of the Gulf right now. It's actually on the coastlines of Florida currently, the area of circulation that is, and it's looking to make its way into the north and west towards Louisiana and the the coast of Mississippi as well. And as you can see, looking at it has a 40% chance of formation within the next 2 days, as well as the next 7 days ahead, which I forgot to mention before. And I'm going to give you guys a wide look around the Atlantic Basin as of right now. These are the storms that just moved off of the eastern coastlines just yesterday, and bringing the potential for severe storms, but it didn't bring much severe storms to the northeastern United States there. These are the storms that are moving off into the Atlantic right now, and there's not much chance for development at all. There's also storms off in the middle of the northern Atlantic currently that doesn't have any chance of forming. And just looking down the Caribbean islands and into the Gulf as well, this is the only chance that we have of potential development into a tropical storm or into a tropical depression. And right now, the National Hurricane Center is saying that at its highest, it looks to be a tropical depression strength. So that means winds at around 30 miles per hour sustained, and 30 to 39 miles per hour. 39 miles per hour is the threshold for a tropical storm. So once it reaches 39 miles per hour sustained winds at its highest, a peak sustained winds, that's when it will receive the tropical storm, the next named storm of this year's hurricane season, which would be Dexter. On the named list here, so I believe that is correct. Dexter is the name. Next name, yep, it'll be Dexter because we've already reached through. We already went through Andrea. We've already went through Barry. And we've already went through Chantal. So the next name on the list would be Dexter, according to the 2025 Atlantic Hurricane season named list. But as you can see, through this is Tropical Future Track, just showing you where exactly this storm may go according to this model. And the models all seem to be pretty similar in terms of the spaghetti models and things of that nature. But going through our Wednesday, we should see mostly sunny conditions here in the Arklatex, as you can see in the far far top left corner of your screen where Shreveport is and where New Orleans is. But New Orleans may see a little bit of some rain showers here because of this storm here that is developing in the Gulf. But throughout today, we should see mostly sunny conditions out there. But heading into our Thursday, we could see the tropical moisture finally make its way onto land, bringing the chance for stray showers for the southern half of the Arklatex. And that what I showed you before with the future track. Some of these showers may escape into portions like Natchitoches Parish and DeSoto Parish and Red River Parish, I believe that is, a very small parish just to the east of DeSoto Parish. It may escape into those areas over there, bringing the chance for a straight rain shower or thunderstorm or two, but it's not expected to bring anything too severe or severe at all for that matter. And as we move into our Friday and Saturday, this is for Friday during the daytime hours, is expected to move into the southern half of the Arklatex and possibly move as far north as around I-30 before it starts to dissipate, bringing scattered showers and thunderstorms and flash flooding that will also be possible during the daytime hours on our Friday. Could still bring some showers and storms into the evening here before it all dissipates. As we move into it's going a little bit too fast here. As we move into our Saturday, pretty much the same things expected here, with more showers and storms possible by the afternoon, and then clearing out by the time we hit the evening. But heading into Sunday, we may see a little bit drier conditions out there with the chance for an isolated shower or two still lingering out there around the region. But it will be a little bit lesser rain chances are expected as compared to Friday and Saturday. But heading into today, of course, there's not much of a flooding risk for today. But moving into tomorrow, we should see the small slither of Natchitoches and Sabine parishes under a marginal risk for flooding. That is mainly because of those isolated showers or scattered showers that may make its way as far north as those parishes in northwest Louisiana. But as we head towards our Friday, that risk grows for most of the southern half of the Arklatex, including areas like Nacogdoches County, Shreveport, Ruston, and some of our southeastern Texas portions are under a slight to marginal risk for flash flooding. And it looks to be a higher risk for flash flooding just outside the region in the Alexandria coverage area, encompassing that county or that parish that encompasses Alexandria, and more of south and western Louisiana, or the southern half of the boot of Louisiana, are under also a higher risk for flash flooding, mainly because of that tropical system out there in the Gulf. And that puts our rainfall potential for the next 7 days potentially upwards of 2 inches, upwards of 1.5 inches for the far southern counties and parishes within the Arklatex here. Around Shreveport and Bossier, looks to be at around 1/2 inch of rainfall, which is a lot more than what we have been seeing throughout the past few weeks or so. And possibly could get up to upwards of 3 inches of rain for those in the southern half of the boot of Louisiana, as you can see here. But at the highest, maybe up to 2 inches of rainfall for the southernmost counties and parishes within the Arklatex here. Now let's take a quick look at the data from the Climate Prediction Center, which shows any chances of tropical development through the next week to 2 weeks. And this is for July 23rd through the 29th, and it doesn't show anything. It actually shows the below average rainfall through this time frame in the Gulf right now, and the through July 30th through August 5th. We could see not much really going on, as you can see here. Not much of a change in the forecast here. And also, I just saw the comment from Christian Brown in the YouTube chat. Good morning to you as well. Sorry for getting back to the chat so late there. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going to be going on. Outside from this tropical system here, there's not much really going or expected to go on in the tropics through the next week to 2 weeks ahead, including aside from this week. There's a potential for tropical storm to develop or tropical depression to develop. At highest, its peak looks to be, I would say tropical storm level, very low level tropical storm. But according to the National Hurricane Center, it may not reach that tropical storm level. It may stay just below that level into tropical depression level, but it still looks to bring the chance for flash flooding. That's what you would need to be concerned about. Is a flash flooding potential of this storm that is reaching more and more into the southern half of the Arklatex. And now, as we move through the next couple of days, make sure to stay tuned to the forecast here at KSLA, where we'll have more details. I'll definitely be talking about this on air. I believe the next time I'll be on air is on Friday, but I'll have to let you know about that as we get closer in time. But yes, make sure to pay attention to the forecast as we get closer in time for when this tropical system will be moving into land or into the Gulf Coast states, as it could bring the potential for flash flooding and a few storms that could produce frequent lightning as it moves more and more onto land. But that's pretty much what the podcast is going to be about today. I'm just going to wrap it up here. If you have any topics for us that you want us to discuss here on the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown. I have to slow down this morning. Make sure to email us at weatherbreakdown@ksla.com. That's weatherbreakdown, WEATHERBREAKDOWN, at ksla.com. Or you can message us, any of us, on Facebook. That's meteorologist Evan Thomason, Chief Meteorologist Matt Jones, Austin Evans, as well as myself on Facebook for any topics that you would like us to discuss here on the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown. Thank you guys once again for tuning in today. Make sure to catch tomorrow's topic starting at 10:30 a.m. here on the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown. Make sure to enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you on the next episode.